Hey guys, welcome to the Simply Slay Life podcast. I'm Chelle. Today, in my series of my 31-day reset vlog, we're going to continue out the week for uh, me to wrap up. This is day 27 of it, and I chose this topic for the rest of this week to end my 31 days because it comes into Black History Month. Today is February 3rd, 2026, and this week's topic we're discussing is being seen and heard. So, for being this part of being seen and heard, we're going to talk about boundaries and knowing that it's okay to set them. And the reason I chose that topic is because I think that it is very important for people to know boundaries are okay. In order for you to be seen and heard, you have to set that boundary to let people know what's acceptable to you and how you want to be treated. So let's get into it. So for me, I I'm sorry, I'm gonna get it together today. I define boundaries as this is what I'm available for, and this is what I'm not available for. And that could be in professional or my personal life. I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay with that. In other words, I'm good. My friends will tell you, I'll tell you in a minute, you don't get to disrespect me, right? So you can get fly at the mouth if you choose to, but we're not doing that, right? And it's okay, even if you're in the professional world, you just have to tweak it a little bit, right? This is the HR side of me for that one. You just say, I understand what you're saying. I just don't understand you saying it to me like that. And that is unprofessional. And I do not respond to that. And then when they continue looking at you, you're like, but I tell you what we can do. Since we are having a miscommunication about how you should be addressing me or how we should be addressing each other because it's a violation of the code of conduct, always your go to is your code of conduct covers everything. I think we may need to discuss this with a manager or we may need to discuss this with HR and follow that up with an email. That's a professional setting. Now, and again, it's you can be assertive without being aggressive, right? And it's not about controlling other people. It's about deciding how, for me, how I move and what I will allow in my space, my time, my energy, and my spirit. And so I I had to kind of, I mean, I've always been that person that I set boundaries, but I'm normally that type of person that does the whole, I can be accommodating until, oh, see, now you overstepping. We're not being accommodating no more. That's me, right? And I learned, and I was really like that in my 20s and my 30s. And then when I hit my 40s, that's when I was really like, oh, you've been doing this. You've been letting people do this a little bit too long, I think. And then people get shocked. And I've had to do it with family. That's where it really, really, really came from. Where family, for me, used to just I'm the youngest of my mom's kids. Uh I'm also always babied or anything I say, they think, oh, she's overreacting. Oh, she's this. Um, and when stuff needs to be made or decisions need to, they make contact. They used to make contact. My brother may have contacted my sister, and they wouldn't contact me. And I'm like, hello, that's my field of expertise. What are you doing? you know. And or just in general, when they would talk to me, it would be very much like, oh, you talking to me like I'm a kid. And I understand you may not can't get past me being with pigtails and I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my don't do that. And I've had to cut off people because of that. You keep stepping over my boundaries. I will not deal with you, right? And I think for us, especially as Black women and Black professionals in the workplace, we are always taught, especially the older generation. Anybody, I'm gonna say older generation by saying anybody 40 and above, because the that younger generation, they on something, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but we were taught basically to be grateful, to be quiet, to not rock the boat. You looking for longevity, you just sit there and don't be leaving that good job, right? Um, and it made it kind of difficult where you just kind of were like, okay, you know, okay, we're gonna let that ride, right? Versus, no, really, I do not care for the way that you talk to me. That's also where people have got into the habit, especially in our community. And let me tell you, the one thing I cannot stand, that adage that people talk about, HR is not your friend. Don't go to HR, da 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 da. That's also that old tale with us. So people bank on that, right? That's how in the professional setting, stuff continues to happen. We are trained not to go to HR. But for us, in order to be able to get anything resolved, you need to document. And I don't mean just take notes on your own. I mean, if somebody says something to you, follow it up with an email. Hey, per our discussion earlier today, I did not feel comfortable in the way you addressed me and said blah, 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 blah. I think you impeded on my boundaries, my professional boundaries. And I would like for you not to do that any further. And if it's continue to be done, we may have to have a conversation and meet with management or HR, right? It's as simple as that because then it's documented. You let them know that that wasn't respectful, that wasn't what, blah, blah. And then you take that email or when you said this to me earlier today, that was this. And you do have to be like that, especially in this climate. And so then in your personal life too, you have to be like that because you also have people out here feeling they gonna talk to you all willy nilly. Like, oh, I can say that to you. I'm empowered now to say that to you. You know, and that again, that could be family, that can be love, boyfriend, girlfriend, the person on the street. My attitude is, I'm gonna tell you good. That's not no no no. That's not in my space. You don't get to disrespect me. That's not happening, right? And then some people have the thing that, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't seem mean like that. And that used to be me. That used to be me where I was like, oh, I don't want to say that. Just let it roll off your back. And in my era of, I'm also this one I've been working on for a while because I'm also one of those people. Okay, okay. And then when I get tired enough, like that's one too many times you done said that to me, I'm 0 to 60. And it becomes, I thought I did it, right? Instead of being like, okay, we're gonna have to have a talk conversation. So that's the phase I'm in now. I'm in the okay, we need to have a conversation. We need to converse over here for a minute. Um, yeah, you not gonna do me or handle me like that. And at this point in time, I think we don't need to associate with each other no more. You messing with my vibe, you messing with my energy, and there's too much other stuff going on for me to even deal with this. Or I'm also good for, and I've said it in all my other videos. You know what you did. I don't have to say anything, and I don't have to ever speak to you again. So when you're setting boundaries, understand clearly that honoring your limits is not being mean. And I had to figure that out. It's being truthful to you and it's being honest to yourself and to everybody in the room so nobody can misunderstand what you were saying. The truth is, when you don't set boundaries, When I noticed that about me, I started to change. I started being tired. Or, and I told y'all this the other day about the way that I was being treated at when I worked for a state government. I started shrinking into myself. I started being, uh, do you mind if I ask? Where I've always been that person, well, why are we doing this? Because I don't understand this. Versus it turned into, do you mind if I ask a question? Because they constantly bombarded me, and family members were like, "Don't let them lose your good government job. Don't let them set a boundary. What's not okay with you, right?" And I should have set a boundary also with my family because I'm like, you ain't, hindsight, I'm thinking you got to deal with this on the daily. You telling me don't let them lose my good government job? They can have this mofo, And it was killing me inside, right? Because people tell you how to handle a situation, but what would they do if that was every day, all day, every time you come into an office, every time you go hang out with your friends, every somebody is trying to steal your light, steal your shine. Set the boundary, right? And to me, this connects with being seen and heard because it is kind of like being seen as, did they respect you enough to honor me saying no or yes or my feelings or my time? That's being seen, right? If did you get and understand what I said when I was saying this, right? Um, and being heard is the part where you're saying, did you understand what I said when I said I won't accept this? And have them take you seriously. Because if I have to have a conversation with you more than once about the way you're approaching me, or the way you're handling me, or the way apparently there's a form of miscommunication that made you think that you could talk to me in that manner, then you're not hearing me. But if you say, I apologize, Chelle. I didn't even know I came across like that. I won't do that again. Then I know I've been heard, right? So boundaries for me is where being seen and being heard meet. They're at the crossroads. They meet right there. They intersect. So you didn't get offended that I said, "Hey, I have boundaries. Don't cross that." You said, "I hear you. I apologize. I won't do that again." Or you were like, I understand, right? You are honestly taking a chance and saying, I fully grasp the whole you. And I want people to know that that is okay to do that. Right. So I'm going to give you a couple examples, and some of it could be like, some stuff I've had to say it. Some stuff is just like, and I bring this up because I know sometimes people struggle with, now how I'm going to approach this situation. How can I, you know, and not sound like the angry black woman, or sound like the angry black man, or he got a chip on his shoulder, or she has this. They have boundaries, that everybody else is allowed to have boundaries. Why can't we have boundaries? And it's not being aggressive, and it's not being angry, or a brute, or thuggish, or whatever they want to call it, or whatever anybody out there want to call it, because it's not that. It's having a thing to say, I respect myself enough that we cannot allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. Not going to allow you to ever think it's okay for you to talk to me like that, or uh, even think that that should have ever came out your mouth. It's not acceptable. So some examples, like for work, prime example is I'm happy to help, but I can't stay late tonight, because managers always coming at you at the last minute. But can we do this tomorrow during my regular hours? It is okay to go home if your thing is 9 to 5. If y'all know where I got that from. Um, it's 9 to 5. If they come at you at 4:55, I need you to stay late, blah, blah, blah. It's okay for you to say, I'm sorry, I can't do that this evening. This is too last minute. I've already have things that are in place, but I'll be more than happy when I come in at 9 a.m. for us to put something on the calendar for us to meet and discuss it tomorrow between the hours of 9 to 5. And you grab your purse, grab your briefcase, say thank you, clock, 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 and walk on out that door, right? And then, the next morning you go in the office, say, I'm here this morning. Thank you. Send it in the email. That's why I'm typing. I'm here this morning. I'm now able to meet with you. These are my office times that I'm available. If you want to discuss, since I wasn't able to meet with you yesterday because it was close to me to be able to clock out, it was 4:55 when you came at 5, but I'm here now. If these are my hours of availability today, or if that doesn't work for you, can you please propose another time and we can put something on the calendar to meet, right? Because you answered all the questions right there. If it is um, a family member that you've had to deal with, you know, and I've been in that position where I've literally had to keep telling the same person, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to, and because people get real comfortable because you're family, and especially in our community where it's like that's your aunt, that's your brother, that's family, that's all we got. Don't let that fool you because people do that and become a version of that's abuse to me when you keep overstepping and doing what you want to do to me and then tell me don't act like that, don't be like that, that's your No. If I would sit up there and curse somebody out on the street, who make you think just because we family, I'm gonna keep sitting up here letting you do that? And nobody is telling that person, hey, you done did that one too many times with her. Stop that. Stop that. Right? So I'll either cut you off if you're not getting it, or I'm gonna tell you, say, hey, I've already told you at least twice. Don't step over that line again, or we can't associate. But for the people that won't say it like that, you can be that person and say, I love you, but I'm not discussing that topic anymore. It's not good for me. And if you continue to want to move in that direction, then you don't need to talk to me at all. And make it very clear. If you're dealing with a friend, look, I'm going to need to back up for a minute. I can't talk about this right now. I'll call you back when I have the energy to really be present in what you're talking about because now I'm feeling like you're not hearing or understanding me. And I would rather keep our friendship than to have this discussion with you right now. And I've said that one. Because if you feel like we need to continue again, I will cut you off in a minute if you do not respect my boundaries. And I think that people need to get more comfortable with saying this is not okay. This is not okay. We're not doing that, right? Um, and again, I'm not yelling, I'm not getting hyped. I'm just telling you, word for word, fact for fact, I'm not okay with this and we're not doing that, right? And it's once you because once emotion gets involved, and I in the past I've been guilty of that, let my emotions get involved. And then I get to now see, but you don't understand. And they win the battle, right? they win that because you can't even keep it together because you so upset that somebody you keep doing it. And I've asked you, you keep doing it, right? And to them, that's the biggest gig that they can get. They getting geeked about that. They was like, because I think that's why people do it, right? They want to get just enough under your skin. But if you're coming in the way of, hey, no, we're not doing that, and keep it just monotone. But thank you anyway for that conversation. Have a good day. And turn around and walk off. Or say, hey, I'm going to let you go now. All right, have a good night. Click and go. Then you took all the wind out they sail, right? So then you seen and heard because from that day on, they going to know, oh, mm-mm. Oh, she been changed up. Something up ain't right. I think I may need to leave that alone because they trying to figure out what's in your head now. Like, oh, have I made her mad enough where that child might do something to me or might say, and I'm just being honest. And don't feel guilty about it. And I was guilty of that. I felt guilty having to tell family members that that's not okay or telling, especially by me being the youngest, that that's not okay with me. And it had been going on so long because you're taught that, especially for me being the youngest, you're taught that don't be talking like that to your elders. And you're like, I'm not trying to, but I don't like the way she talking to me. I don't like the way he talking to me. I'm supposed to take that. And again, anybody knows that, knows that's how that goes. So in the time that we're in, especially moving forward, set firm boundaries and just let them know no need to get rah-rah with anybody. Make a clear definition of I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with you considering that was all right to do or to even think we were going to have a conversation like this. I'm going to go ahead and bid you a good day. Um, but it was a great conversation and leave. Hang up the phone. Um, pick your, like I said, pick your purse up or your briefcase up. I'm going home now. Thank you. I'll see you in the morning. We can talk about that from 9 to 5 and move on. Okay. So, and in that moment, you have taken back you. Nobody has impeded on you. You held your own, and now you are thoroughly seen and heard. Because once you give it to them one good time, and some people like, oh, you have to curse out somebody one good time for them to know. No, sometimes you don't have to be like that. Sometimes you just have to be firm in what you say and chop them off at the knees when they come again with it and say, I thought we had this conversation before. All right then, Ted, I'm gonna let you go now. All right then, Sabrina, I'm gonna let you go now. All right. And you walk away. If you at work and they steady coming, then at that point, ooh, excuse me, I gotta go to the restroom. Get up and walk clean away while they're in the middle of talking. Say, all right, I'm sorry, I gotta go to the restroom real quick. All right. And walk clean away. Okay. Or you tell them, hey, I thought we had this conversation before. I will not be discussing this with you. At this point in time, I'm just to start back my work and turn around. And that's how that should go. I hope this information was helpful to you because for the rest of this week, it is the seen and heard being heard, and it takes shape in many forms. Okay. It doesn't always have to be big, it can be little small things, but it is recognizing you, your true self, who you are for them to realize, oh, this is she is, this is who he is, right? That's how we are seen and heard. So, guys, I thank you once again. If this shapes and makes you think or say, yeah, that's a good idea. That's the way I should handle that. please leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 28. Guys, thank y'all so much. Thank you for watching the Simply Slay Life podcast. I'm Chelle. See you later. Bye.